We're going to try to get Nikachu on for the next round, so just hang tight. We'll check in with him just to see how he's doing. So if you guys are coming from the Pro Tour, thanks for stopping by. So we are this is a modern $1,500 event. Yeah, hosted by FutureGamingOnline.com. So I'm Philip Roman, and with me is Kevin True.
Hello. Yep. 74 players, great turnout. Amazing.
76 now. 2 people came in late. They
sick.
they were totally okay accepting round 1 loss and just wanted to play modern
Yeah, no problem.
or whatever. So not a problem in the slightest. But yeah, so back to some modern action here. We have Blue Black Mill,
Spicy.
real nice deck. You know, if I know it's not Merfolk like some of you came here and watch. But I guarantee you, it'll at least this deck will put a smile on your face, or at least intrigue you. So I'm excited to see it. Rick's been playing it a while. William is playing that Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt, Snapcaster, Search for Ascanta
We're
deck.
all familiar with it.
Yeah, we've all kind of seen it a few times. So our players are just shuffling up. They are ready to go. It looks like Will is going on a Malta 6 here, so we'll just hang tight. But what are you excited to see today, Kevin?
I'm excited to see. I just looked around the room. That's the beauty of modern, right? There's just so many different decks. If you play against 100 different decks, you're probably gonna play 50 different decks at least, which is amazing.
Well, I think that it's true. I guess at a certain point there is whatever, but yeah, it's true. People love to play whatever. There's a ton of random stuff being played here today. You know, somebody just told me about a Boggles deck. Someone's played Carlos Eldrazi without Ayavugan. Just tons of great stuff. Maybe we'll get some of those decks featured on later, but right now we have an exciting one. Starts off with an unstable basic. What do you like that island, Kevin? Are you
Yeah, I do. So there's a common. I've talked to a lot of people. The unstable basics look nice with the newer lands, but with the older lands they look kind of off. But
Kevin, this is hot. Okay, Mesmeric Orb. So card's never been reprinted. People are probably unfamiliar with it. We're gonna pull that one up for you. 2-mana artifact. Whenever a player untaps a permanent, they mill 1 card. This card actually ends up doing a lot of heavy lifting. It is probably why it is as expensive as it is right now, but we're going to pull that one up for you right now. So William is responding, putting himself at 19 here. His life total is not going to matter too much this game, as Will's win condition is mill. So see what he can do here.
Yeah, life total is the deck for Will.
Yeah, but we're looking at Mesmeric Orb here, so I'm not sure if it's resolved yet, but we'll see if Will has that spell snare. But this card does a ton of heavy lifting, so...
Oh, yeah. Well, if you want to win the game, your opponent has to tap mana, right? And this is where Mesmeric Orb shines. It's crazy.
And most decks need more than 1 card.
Yeah.
Right. There are worlds where you can just play a Planeswalker or Walk Creature. Right? It kind of carries you all the way. So let's see what happens here, though. Back to the game. We're still shuffling.
And there's also a stigma with mill players that they're just casual modern players, but Rick is a very good Magic player, and he just loves to play mill. So Rick is going to pilot this mill deck very proficiently.
Man, try play Valakut versus this deck. You know, he knows he wants it, and he's got Surgicals in his deck. You literally cannot win. So maybe it's something you want to try. You got a lot of Valakuts. Try some Yule, the blue-black mill. So we'll go into his turn 2 here. Plays another Flooded Strand. Pass the turn.
Rick's got a really sweet card from our Devastation, Frank Sanity's hand. This card is really good in the mill deck.
Yeah, we'll bring that one up, but if it comes up, it's essentially a curse that doubles all milling that's done to them.
Oh, he's windmill slamming it right now.
Okay, and he is. So let's pull that one up for you. So I guess that was in his hand. This card is powerful. Let's see what we got here. Let's transition this. Frank Sandy, I imagine Will's going to want to stop this one, so his Logic Knots are going to be online. Mostly because he's going to have a ton of access to his graveyard, a ton of resources there, so let's see if he stops this, though. This card can end the game quickly. As soon as Glimpse the Unthinkable starts milling 20 instead of 10, game can end really quick, so...
Yeah, this basically replicates every mill effect, which is insane.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter when it happens. It just happens at the end step. For each card that you mill this turn, double it up, so... This card is very good.
Yep, very good addition to the.
I want to say it's similar to like a doubling season effect, right? Because a lot of cards are designed, you get this effect once, and when you start to double up on it, it just gets out of hand really quick. So.
And also, great strategy with mill. It's not a lot of people are familiar playing against mill, so you also have that going for you.
Yeah,
which is really good.
So he's gonna mill 1. So Rick just making sure that everything is okay. They might be going. It should be okay. Frank Sanity does only mill from. It's not when a card goes into the graveyard. It's just when it's actually milled. So Yeah, just making sure that everything's good. Will has put one card in his untapped with one card, and he's put one card in the graveyard from that Mesmeric Orb. So, all right. So what are we doing here, Will? And we're gonna mill one from that Fraying Sanity at the end of turn. All right. Rick goes to his turn here. He's gonna mill 2, 3. Hit some Hedron Crabs. Draws. I think that was a Mind Funeral that I just saw there.
Yep. So what's actually important that's in Will's hand right now is Nihiri. So at least Will can get rid of this Fraying Sanity with Nihiri.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to make him tap out and do a little bit of milling again.
Yep.
But I think I saw a Mind Funeral in Rick's hand here. Maybe it's another Fraying Sanity. I'm not
Might
quite
be
sure.
Eclipse. All of these Dimir
It could
cards.
be anything.
Yeah.
Curious to see what he has. Will looks like he has the creature removal side of his deck, and Rick, I think, only plays 4 in the entire deck. It's these Hedron Crabs. You can actually see one in the graveyard right now. Hedron Crab, landfall. When land enters the battlefield, someone mills 3.
Yep.
He's going to play another Fraying Sanity here. So, passes the turn. All right, we're tapping 1. We're opting.
Yep.
What are we looking for here, Kevin? Give it to me.
He already has this Nihiri in hand. Depends.
We're opting
He's my
again.
Control. Snapcaster.
All right.
You know, the problem that the control decks have is that they don't have a clock at all, because this Jeskai control deck sure plays Nihiri, but it doesn't play Emrakul anymore. It runs Torrential Gearhulk instead.
So I think Rick's just pointing out what's actually going to happen here.
Yeah.
So we're going to mill 1, and we're going to mill 2.
Yep.
It should only be 2.
Yeah, it should only be 2. Yeah. Oh.
I'm not really sure what happened there.
I think they double the mill effect of Mesmeric Orb when they shouldn't have. Should we stop?
Oh, no, we shouldn't. You know what, Kevin? If you actually read Fraying Sanity, it's for each card that was put into their graveyard this turn. We just had the card read wrong.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So even a more amazing Mesmeric Orb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to
he's got an
Emrakul.
Oh, this is important now.
So Rick is actually used to playing against Emrakul. So there's a trigger on the stack right now. Rick actually plays 3 Surgical Extractions in the main deck, so he draws first.
He also
Now
plays
there's a
Crypt
trigger.
Incursion, which is important as
Yeah.
well.
So
Okay.
one card did go to the graveyard this turn.
Well, this is a funny matchup now that we have Emrakul.
Yeah, I know Rick has played this because I myself have played against him before, playing a little bit of a different shell.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is this is a lot more difficult for Rick now because the Nihiri has now resolved. So Rick doesn't really have many ways of managing loyalty, does he?
You know what, Kevin? With 2 Fraying Sanities, you can actually just end the game really quickly.
Yep.
So, and it's what's cool about this card is that they trigger separately, so one go feeds into the other. So
Yep.
it is a sort of a double up effect already. So. It's kind of a
that's
4x
insane,
effect. You know what? It's actually really easy for Rick to just mill his entire deck in one turn with these Fraying Sanities.
Yep.
I find it actually quite interesting that he opted to not kill it.
Yeah.
So.
Especially like with
So
the
1.
Mesmeric Orb out there.
2,
Let's see, one
3,
more mills.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And to William's credit, who plays against Mill often, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's very difficult to know exactly what to do until you've played the matchup a couple times.
So Rick just needs to draw one of his Surgicals here to get rid of that Emrakul again. We did see. I know he plays 3 and 2. He plays 3 Surgicals, 2 Crypt Incursions, and one of the Crypt Incursions is already gone.
Yep.
So we're gonna try to mill his entire deck this turn because the Fraying Sanity. Let's pull that one up for you guys just one more time. Fraying Sanity does check at the beginning of every end step, so. Yeah, you can see that one here. So it's for each card that has gone to the graveyard from anywhere that turn. So we had the ruling wrong. We thought it was just from the top of the library, so we apologize about that. They're going back to it.
Yeah, all Rick needs to win the game now is a Crypt Incursion or Surgical, and he's good to go.
So, or maybe Emrakul is the... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we have like a quick standoff. It's either Will ults with Nihiri and ends the game, or Rick ends the game with... Ooh, we have break and entry going on right now.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to mill 8.
8 plus infinite from Fraying and Sandy.
And this is what I mean. Like, it's going to mill 16 off of 1, and then it's going to mill another 16. Like, that's 32 cards gone this turn. Fraying Sandy actually becomes insane. Like, the Emrakul isn't even that bad because you're just going to find a way to consistently hit it.
Yep.
Yeah, and Rick's just hoping that he has this. Like, if Rick has this Surgical, the game's kind of So I've lost count a long time ago.
Yeah. we're just waiting for the Emrakul when he stops. Oh, Emrakul,
Yeah,
last
you keep
one.
going. You got to keep going
Yeah.
here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, was it the last one? I guess so. I guess that's where he stopped.
Yeah.
So it's on the stack.
It doesn't look like Rick has the surgical. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Rick play this deck. He's very methodical with the way he plays the deck because he knows that players can get very confused.
Yeah, but so this is kind of what I was talking about with these fraying sanities. It a glimpse of the unthinkable. With two of them in play just ends the game, so you don't even need that much work. The card is deceptively powerful. So if you guys are confused, just let us know. We can kind of try to clear it up. The board state is a little bit confusing with what's going on. Some of these cards not seeing as much play as they normally do with some of them. But so I have a question for you now, Kevin. You kind of seen how this game goes. Do you just keep plussing this Nahiri?
Yes.
Okay.
Rick has 2 Frame Sanities out, so he's clearly every mill spell. It's just basically deal 20 damage to you, except it's just your library.
Okay.
So Will just needs to win with an Emrakul.
Okay.
Rick doesn't have any permanents, which he currently only has 6. So Will can just eat away with his Emrakul, then hopefully just bolt him down.
Imagine Will draws a land here, and then Rick mills him out.
Oh, sick.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay, so are we drawing? This last modern that I was playing. 3, 4. Okay, so 8 cards have gone to the graveyard now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're gonna get to see every card by card in Williams' deck here. So discards a Field of Ruin. Discards a Watery Grave. Draws first turn. I see another breaking. So Rick is going to lose all of his permanents here this turn unless Will somehow draws this Emrakul from his hand. That is the only way this Nahiri's not going to ult. So
yeah, it's very unfortunate for Rick that he ran into Will's version of Jeskai control.
You know what though? Again, like Rick does have the answers for it in his deck. I know he like it's just kind of a blanket statement. I know he has those effects.
Yeah.
So all right, and we're gonna fire it off here. Rick's not going to die from this. And that's kind of what he's banking on. Like, he doesn't actually even have to sacrifice the fraying sanities. He has to discard maybe the memory orb. But I'm really curious to see what he keeps here. So
what's also really important right now is that the Emrakul is going to actually go back to Will's hand.
Yeah.
So Rick can actually mill Will out if Will cannot deal the next 5 damage.
And we know he has a breaking, Kevin. Like, so he's just kind of, like, I don't even think he's out of it by any means. So I know this Flooded Strand's going... I don't even know what you keep here, but I'm really curious to see. Yeah, Annihilator 6. Because if we just mill the rest of the Nahiris, like the game just kind of ends on the spot, right?
Yep.
I was just figuring it out. So Rick has to go in the tank here. We know he has a breaking. He's got 2 fraying sanities. So like, do you just try to draw 2 lands? No.
Oh, he's Xaxes.
The game's over.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was anticlimactic. I was really excited about it, but it didn't really work out that way. So. Mill loses to the old Emrakul, which is unfortunate because, again, Rick does have answers in his main deck. I can't put enough emphasis on that. So, William going up a game.
Okay, going to sideboards. Basically, for Rick, sideboards, how many more ways do you have to get rid of Emrakul?
All right, Rick Wilson. So, what do we got? We got an Ashiok. Ooh, Ashiok, spicy.
I love that.
We got an Ashiok, 2 Ravenous Traps.
Yep. Oh,
and
way to get rid of Emrakul?
Yeah, so just looking at he's got some other stuff, some Echoing Truth, some Set Adrift. Set Adrift's actually a really spicy card. And I don't think it's going to come up in this matchup, but it is essentially a 6-mana bounce spell with Delve,
really
which is sweet.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things don't stop at chalices and whatnot, and it can actually hit anything. So, awesome card. But anyhow, if I'm personally Rick here, I would just bring in...
the Ravenous Traps just to get rid of the Emrakul.
2 Ravenous Traps and maybe the Ashiok. Ashiok is deceptively powerful too. I don't know if any of you have played Standard with that card. It can take over games if it's just unchecked. You know, it just gets you not even, I don't want to say incremental, just but this huge advantage. Because the creatures in Modern 2 are just like really cheap, right? Like you could be flashing back Snapcaster Mages with Ashiok without paying their mana. Super awesome card. But there's a set. We didn't actually quite see what that was. So those are Set Adrift still. And it looks like he is going to be boarding them out. We have an Echoing Truth there, a Damnation that's gone, Collective Brutality. So Rick just going in the tank here, trying to figure it out. Slow rolling, what's going on, man? Good to see you. And then, but we haven't talked about William's sideboard in the slightest. So let's see what he kind of has going on here. Smorgasbord of spells.
Yeah.
So we got 1 Dispel, 1 Disdainful Stroke, 1 Negate, 1 Spell Pierce, Jace, Architect of Thought, Geist of Saint Traft,
Wear Terror.
Wear Terror, Vendilion Clique, Elspeth Sun's Champion,
I believe.
Engineered Explosives, 2 Relics of Progenitus.
Yeah.
Just a ton of stuff. I have no idea what he's going to bring in. Maybe he can teach us how to board versus the mill deck. So
I think you for sure bring in the negated spell pierce.
it just hits everything in his deck, right? It's not a creature strategy, so
the wear and tear for sure as well. It gets rid of the orb and the frame sanities.
Yeah,
so
that's really good too.
Super relevant.
So,
it's interesting. Do you spell in like more win conditions?
well, you got to bring in the Geist. Geist is crazy. Like an unchecked Geist is one of the most threatening. I want to say it's one of the most threatening individual cards in Magic, right? Like it just ends the game so quick. It's got hexproof.
Yep.
But obviously it has that fragile body, which is why it doesn't see as much play as it used to. Yep. But anyhow, so
pretty good against Mill though. When you play against Mill, you want to provide as big as a clock as you can, because if you give Mill too much time, you're just not going to have a deck anymore.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can see some of those damnations, some of the things that Rick is taking out there. You see those Circles Recalls, you see those damnations and whatnot being boarded out. Probably not going to need those, although damnation does kill this Geist that we've been talking about. So I imagine Will is going to bring in the Vendilion Clique, just some of these aggressive creatures that are a little bit disruptive too, or just put on a clock really quick. So you can team that Vendilion Clique up with some counter spells to get a, I'm not going to even call it a soft lock, but just an advantageous board state, right? So
and also just thinking about it, if I'm Will, I for sure side in those win conditions, because if I'm Rick's perspective, I probably side out most of my removal.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I'm really worried about is like Emrakul.
Absolutely, and you just want the game to end as soon as possible. So, but Will's got to feel good about this Emrakul that's in his deck right now. Is he playing the full 4 Nahiris? I'm actually curious. No, he just plays as a 2 of.
Okay, cool.
So it's a draw that's a build. That's a build, but so his win conditions are all the removal spells. Yeah. The 1 of Emrakul, 3 Snapcasters, 1 Torrential Gearhook. So bit of an interesting build, but you know what? It's working out for him so far. So and he's 1-0 in this tournament right now. 76 players today, Kevin.
Yeah, it's amazing. I really appreciate everybody coming out. It's great seeing all these people in the store.
Our city's not even that big.
I know. Yeah, it's only.
We're like sub 900,000 people.
Yeah.
Right? Like 76 modern players just wanted to come and battle it out for their share of $1,500 store credit today. So thank you to Fusion Gaming Online for hosting the event, for making this possible. And thank you to the ManaBase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering, for letting us cast the event. Winnipeg players love their Modern.
Oh, they love it. It's like a religion for their just Modern.
I have a hunch that Magic players in general love Modern, and that's part of why they actually brought the Modern Pro Tour back, because people really like it. Maybe the pros don't, but the general populace, and I think it's just evident because this event is probably 20 bigger than any event that we've had before, besides our $5,000 cash tournament that we have once a year, but that brings out everyone. You know, it's almost kind of religion for us. But yeah, I think this just showcases that like Magic players just love Modern. If you don't, you know what, there's probably 10 people for each person that do. So so what are we doing here? Oh, well, going to 6, making Rick have to mill and 1 extra card here.
And to touch on your previous point, the reason why I think Modern is such a great format is because a lot of us have a competitive drive, but not all of us can like constantly play Standard. Standard is a format you continuously have to upkeep with. Modern's not like that. You can build a deck and it'll be good for like when you build it to like a year from now, 2 years from now, and that's the great thing about Modern.
Sure, yeah, that's absolutely true. Your cards are going to keep value. You can kind of, I don't want to use the word invest, but it you know, it's nice. Your Fatal Pushes are going to be good for the rest of Modern.
Exactly,
you buy your 4 Fatal Pushes right now, which are available at FusionGamingOnline.com. No, but if you buy your 4 Fatal Pushes, you know, you buy your 4 Thoughtseizes, they're going to be good for, you know, the next 5-10 years kind of thing in Modern. So, and I think people really appreciate that. They get attached to cards that they own, you know. One of the beauties of Magic, I've talked about this a lot, and what drives me over a lot of online games like Hearthstone and whatnot, is at the end of the day, you actually have something tangible, you know, it's something you can hold on to. And I think with Modern, too, it even shows at the Pro Tour, people just like playing the things that they own. You know, they have the sentimental value to them, something that they really hold dear, you know, and that's why people like play their, you know, in quotations here, pet decks, right?
Yes,
so, all right, let's see what happens here. So, Rick going off. Going on his turn 2, plays a Shelldock Isle. We're going to pull up Shelldock Isle for you guys. A bit of an obscure card, but it does give Rick a free spell later on into the game. So
Very powerful cube card, but also great in
Cube. You like this thing in cube?
Yeah, you don't like Showdown Kyle?
I
Cube?
don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your deck's so much smaller in cube.
Yeah, it's in fact 20 cards smaller. But so Hideaway, when it comes into play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You can put one of them under it. And the condition for this one is if an opponent has 20 or less, or if any, is it any player?
Yeah. No.
If a library has 20 or fewer, you can play the card for free. So a lot of people try to do this kind of cheesy stuff with like Emrakul's and whatnot. So Rick plays on Visions of Beyond. Strictly worse off in that scenario. Did he not connect on Shelldock Isle? Did he just hit 4 lands? Oh, that's unfortunate.
It looks like he did.
So, well, that's really unfortunate.
In a sense, it also got rid of 4 lands, so that's not awful as well. But of course, you'd like to hit something with Shelldock Isle.
There's a Search for Ascanta, a really important card coming out from the mill deck. We know how good this card is. It speaks for itself.
Yep.
Card is crazy. Really not much to say about it. So
yeah, you can even make an argument with just milling yourself, so you could just flip it right
Yeah.
away.
Again, the card's proved itself in multiple formats. They were doing a feature match at the official Magic stream just about an hour ago or so.
Yep.
So card's great. Rick's going to be excited about it. Helps him find his stuff. Not much to say about it. So doesn't give you immediate card selection, but it comes pretty close.
Yep.
Having to wait until your upkeep. I was listening to an interview, actually, somebody talking about this card, and, against a lot of matchups, you know what, they don't even need to flip it because it is susceptible to land hate in the form of, like, Field of Ruin and whatnot, which, by the way, Field of Ruin, I think it's that and Opt, I think, are quietly, maybe Opt not quietly, but Field of Ruin is the most influential card that came out of Ixalan, this unassuming land. So flipping it over would make it susceptible to some of these effects, but instead, they just keep it and they take that card selection every turn, right? Just eliminating those bad draws. They want nothing to do with them. So
bringing them into graveyard is very important too.
Yeah,
especially with decks playing Logic Knot now.
Absolutely. It gives you Snapcaster targets, makes Tassiger easier. Tons. Great card.
Amazing
card speaks
utility.
for itself. Yeah. Game slowed down a little bit. William waiting. Alpha White has 2, so has 2 islands and a Steam Vents into play. Rick going on to his 4th turn.
Yep, he's looking at a Frayne Sanity, see if he wants to bin it or not.
So doing a little bit of pointing back and forth, because Magic players like to do that.
So Will, most importantly, didn't play turn 3 Geist. Never lucky, didn't draw his 1 of Geist.
So what are we doing? Oh, okay, so that's why we had the awkward pause. All right, so here's the Vendilion Clique that we talked about. This did come in from the post board, so you got a couple ways to deal with this Emrakul that proved to be tough in the last game that we watched. So, by the way, welcome to the stream. If you guys are coming over from the MTG stream, we have this round plus a guaranteed 5 more rounds of Modern with a potential top 8. There's a world where the players do split in the top 8, and then we're not gonna get to watch any of those games. So, if you want to see 8 rounds of Modern, you're gonna want to hope for Nikachu because he never splits in the top 8. And he's gonna make people play it out, which is great. I'm sure we all want some more Modern. So, all right, and what do we got here? We got that Fraying Sanity. We saw the potential of this card last game. For those of you that are joining us, we're gonna pull this card up for you. But this card, especially in multiples, can end games really quick. So let's pull this one up.
Yeah, fantastic addition for the middle.
Kevin, did you catch what was Vendilion Cliqued, if anything?
No. I think he just left it as is, actually.
Left it as is. All right, so that shows. All right, so what do we got here? Is this a Nahiri? Yeah, Nahiri, this is kind of what ended the game last week, so he's going to, let's see what he does with it. I thought last game that it would have been a safer play to just get rid of some of these Fraying Sanities using Nahiris.
You plus this
right
away. Especially
do you?
Rick's hand was bad. There's no mill spells in it. So you just for sure just try to go Rick's throat.
But he does exile it, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't agree with this play. When you saw how bad Rick's hand is, you just try to win the game.
Yeah, but you're just going to, I don't know. Will obviously has a game plan. It worked out for him last week. Last time, it wasn't something that I agreed with, but he obviously seems to kind of know what's going on. So there you go. Yavanko55, thanks, man. Appreciate the stream quality. We tried our best here. So, but back to our blue-black mill player. He's gonna mill. He's gonna put away that Visions of Beyond. So, let's see what he ends up finding. What he can do this turn. We know he's got some graveyard hate in his hand, but he's facing down this Nahiri that's gonna make the game a little bit tougher for him. So.
We got a Hedron Crab going up. So nice way to.
Hedron Crabs. This card's really funny. It is very unassuming, but with a couple fetch land and sometimes in multiples, we'll pull this guy up for you. So this card can be very unassuming. Let's see. So we got a little bit of mill action, and keep in mind, guys, William does actually have an Emrakul in his deck, and that was his bane in the game prior, which is why he's up a game. So Rick, despite being able to mill, I want to say 9/10 of William's deck every turn because he has double fraying sanity on him, this Emrakul kind of stopped him cold. So all right, so what are we doing? Kevin, you got to speak into the mic, man. Chat thinks you're quiet.
Oh, apparently. Okay.
Apparently, all right. Well, we'll try to get Kevin speaking into the mic, but so this game is going. Rick's just doing a fetch line here, resolving a quick water grave that's going to trigger this Hedron Crab that we have on camera up one more time here. So it's going to be doing another mill. It's going to showcase. I like this because we can actually see what William actually boarded in, and we'll comment on some of those cards. So it is Kevin True in the booth. Kevin, say hi.
Oh, hi, Ashley. Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate you viewing in.
So. Yeah, I think we have the streams just working a little bit better. So we're just quickly resolving these Hedron Crab triggers right now, so there isn't too much going on. So we milled 6 cards. We passed a turn. So William has this Vendilion Clique and a Nahiri. He looks pretty set up to win this game. I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out now. So we got a 5th land, 3rd island. And I guess we can only do one thing with this Nahiri we can take up. So
we got a Lightning Helix just going right out of the crab.
So he did keep some of those in. And at a certain point you only have so many things to board out, right? So he did keep it. But Nahiri ticking up. What are we discarding, Will? If anything. We are keeping our hand. That's never a good sign.
Yeah.
So here we go. This Vendilion Clique going to continue dealing 3 a turn for probably the rest of the game. Bots Master. So Rick Wilson does actually play 3 Surgical Extractions and 2 Crypt Incursions in his main deck. But so last game, he wasn't able to find any for this Emrakul. So
he for sure has one of the Ravenous Traps or Crypt Incursion in his hand right now.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Search for Ascanta. What do we find?
Yeah, this is just a really unfortunate draw for Rick. He didn't hit off the Shelldock Isle at all. He saw 4 consecutive lands. His hand's pretty hand heavy right now.
So we've got a Mesmeric Orb here. He's just trying to figure out how much this card is actually going to do here. Mesmeric Orb, 2-mana artifact. Whenever a player untaps a permanent, they mill. So can do a lot of value, a lot of hidden value. So we'll see. No, he does decide to keep it.
Yeah, Rick's just kind of thinking right now because Mesmeric Orb isn't doing the greatest job right now. Will doesn't actually have any incentive playing any spells anymore right now. You can just be down with this click and just get out this Emrakul.
It is going to help him.
Yeah, just flip Ascanta.
Flip his Ascanta next turn. So let's see if Will does anything about this one. Nope, we're going to be milling a few things. So we got 3 things that are being milled here. Uno, dos, and tres, So 1 Nahiri down. That card's really important in the matchup. And again, just to put emphasis on it, William does have an Emrakul in his deck. So that is why this game is kind of as awkward as it is. So it's a little bit tougher for Rick because Emrakul just makes it so you shuffle your whole graveyard into your deck.
Yep.
Engineered Explosives on 2. Well, this is backbreaking.
And it's important to note right now, Will doesn't actually want to mill the Emrakul right now because Will's well aware that Rick has an Exile effect for his graveyard. So he wants to dodge milling Emrakul as much as he can right now.
So let's go up. Are we discarding or are we just sticking it up? What are we doing here, Will?
But now that we mention it, even if he mills his Emrakul, if he has his Gearhulk in his deck, he doesn't even need to win with Emrakul.
Well, what if we mill the Gearhulk as well, Kevin? How about that?
We gotta hope we don't mill one of those 2.
So
you can bring any creature, he can just get the Geist. There's so many ways to win.
Currently, this Vendilion Clique is providing a clock, right? 7-turn clock. And I have a hunch that that's exactly what's going to happen this game. I think this Vendilion Clique is just going to go all the way. So for those of you that are just joining us now, when this Vendilion Clique was cast, the hand that Rick revealed, William opted to not do anything to it. He just left it as is. So he's aware that Rick does have 2 answers to Graveyard Hate. He has Ravenous Trap and a Crypt Incursion right
Mhm.
now. So, but not a lot of milling going on here. All right, Illibury, let's go up to 8. Are we discarding this turn? What are we discarding, Will? Nothing. So,
Not always not a good sign, like you said.
yeah. Means the cards in his hand are good. Going down to 8, and we're just 3 turns away. This Vendilion Clique has connected 4 times this game. I love this card. I wish it was more prevalent in Modern. Card obviously not as good versus all these Lightning Bolt, Electrolyze, Lightning Helix decks that have been abundant nowadays. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I just love the unique versatility of the card. Just nothing really like it in Magic right now.
Back to Hedron Crab here. We got this guy pulled up here, so we'll just pull him out quick. So Rick did opt to not sacrifice his Polluted Delta. I didn't assume this is in part because of that. It's because this Hedron Crab is going to get some later value. Maybe mill some of those win conditions. We're going to need a couple good mills here, Rick, but I believe in you. He's got 2 cards in hand. They're both Graveyard Hate. What? Or maybe not.
Okay, 1 landfall trigger.
So we go 1.
Emrakul.
2. There's a Torrential Gearhulk.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did not mill the Emrakul. I think Rick has
He can fetch here.
Delta.
He can fetch, and then he can also Ghost Quarter himself to activate the landfall trigger. Actually, multiple times. So that's what I mean.
Yeah. I think he has to do it now. Or at least during Williams' upkeep before
he can do it in his
go
draw
base.
step.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
I
draw
guess.
step is smart because there's a chance of drawing the Emrakul as well.
It's kind of the same thing. Because you don't know, like, we're just playing with unknowns here, right? There's also a world where he's going to do it when the Hiri ults. So, like, I think this is where you pop it off, right? Like, and it looks like that's what he's doing, so he's going to do it to himself.
Yeah, very smart heads-up play by Rick.
Yeah. So what's happening right now is we are going to try to get lucky with our landfall triggers and mill all of Williams' creatures in the deck. So, and then hopefully we just don't die to this Emrakul. So mill 3. 1, 2.
Okay.
Supreme Verdict is a random one to keep in, but you know what? It's working out. Oh, it's not over yet.
Okay.
Oh, really? I think he's jumping the gun here. We had a Polluted Delta. Maybe Rick just forgot about it. Well, that's unfortunate. Was it in the top 3? It looked like it was actually the 4th card.
It always has to be the 4th card.
Well, that's unfortunate. I don't think anything would have happened anyways, which is unfortunate. Rick, again, having some bad draws this game. And just a bad matchup.
He just drew awfully. Yeah, bad matchup. Things didn't go away for Rick, unfortunately.
So, Eldrazi Mom, just a little bit